Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Big Bill 20, and originally I wasn't going to weigh in on this topic because I am so over the whole spectrum of Chris Brown and Rihanna. I am so over it. But people are pissing me off about this situation. Um, First of all, let me just go ahead and say I really, really respected the Rihanna Diane Sawyer interview. I felt that it was the interview that we were waiting for. I felt that it was the interview that we all wanted. And honestly, I felt that it was really appropriate. It was just one on one. It was Rihanna and Diane Sawyer. You know, everybody wants to talk about, oh, Rihanna's hair looked this, or Rihanna, oh, she looked messed up, she looked messed up. Shut the fuck up and let's talk about the interview. Although, let's just go ahead and say, I don't really feel like that hair color that she's rocking isn't really flattering her in that interview. But that's beside the point. That's totally on the left side of the field. And we're on the end zone, and y'all in the outfield, okay? So, I felt that it was an interview that should have happened with Chris Brown and Larry King. First of all, it should have been one-on-one. Rihanna did not have her mother there. Rihanna did not have her lawyer or her publicist or whoever else the fuck that was with Chris Brown. It was just her and Diane Sawyer. Chris Brown should have done that. It should have been Chris Brown and it should have been Larry King. It should have been Chris Brown minus the fucking baby blue sweater and Larry King. Second of all, she held back, but she gave us enough. She gave us enough to know about that night. She gave us enough to know about her feelings with the situation. She was very specific on certain events. You know, why did I see him after he beat me? What happened that night? I was screaming how I felt, blah, blah, blah. All that Chris Brown didn't give. Honestly, I would have had more respect for Chris Brown if he was with Larry King and he did say, this is what I felt when I hit her. It was a mistake. I'm so sorry. So stupid. And I take full responsibility, but I did. This is how I felt. This is what happened. It was a blur. I don't really remember much. You know, Chris Brown didn't do all that. Chris Brown didn't do all that. All he said is, and to me, when someone does that, it makes them not accountable for what they did. It's almost like they feel like they didn't do anything wrong. You know, it's like if I smack the shit out of my friend, and the next day it's like, oh, I'm sorry for the incident. That's not saying I'm sorry that I slapped the shit out of you and I gave you a mark on your face and blah blah blah. That's just saying I'm sorry for the thing that occurred. You're not holding any accountability for it. First of all, let me tell you why people are pissing me off. People are pissing me off because they have the nerve to sit here and say it was unclassy for Rihanna to do that video. How? Answer me this question. How was it unclassy for Rihanna to do that interview? Excuse me. How was it unclassy for her to speak out? Yes, she is speaking out later, but you don't know how battered people are feeling. You don't know how somebody feels under the scrutiny of the spotlight when when it's been when it's been publicized that they got the shit beat out of them. You don't know how somebody feels, so maybe she didn't feel like she was ready until now to do this interview, and she did do it, and I'm very grateful. So that's the first thing people are pissing me off about, saying it's unclassy, that she shouldn't have said shit about it, she should not have done the interview. Why not? If personally, I would be really, really pissed off if I was a person who was battered and I spoke out about it, and people got mad at me for speaking out as the victim. That's so fucking backwards. Fans are so backwards. It even goes back to my Mashonda, when Mashonda addressed, Swiss Beats wife Mashonda addressed Alicia Keys for ruining her marriage. I wouldn't say she ruined it, but she played a part in the ending of her and Swiss Beats marriage. When Mashonda gave her address, people were upset about that too. But if the shoe was on the other foot, if that was you that was done wrong, if you were the person that was beat, you would feel like you had every right to say what you need to say about that situation. Why can't you give that to them? Why can't Rihanna say what she wants to say about that situation? Why can't Mashonda say what she wants to say about how she felt? It's only fair and it's only right to let them do that. So for y'all to say that shit, y'all are full of shit. Not y'all, like not my subscribers or anything, or my viewers, but people who agree that she shouldn't have done that video. It's bullshit. She should have done the interview, the interview. She should have done it, and I'm glad that she did it. It was the interview that we all wanted. Second reason people are pissing me off. People are constantly still calling her, constantly and consistently still calling her a liar. How do you know? Unless you were sitting in the back seat. How do you know that anything that's coming out of Rhianna's mouth is a fucking lie? Unless you had lunch with her and Chris Brown the day that they were trying to reconcile back in Miami. How do you know that she's lying unless you were standing there as he was beating the hell out of her as the situation occurred? How do you know she's lying? You don't. You really don't. And since Chris Brown doesn't want to say shit about it, then the only word that we have coming out of someone's mouth is hers. And so until someone else has another, now I will say we still don't know what happened, but to sit here and call her a liar, to sit here when she said that no, she didn't hit him back, and people, she's lying like hell. She is lying. Chris Brown does not look like the type of person that would beat the hell out of somebody for no reason. First of all, do y'all know Chris Brown? Do y'all know? And second of all, just because somebody does not look the part does not mean they don't do the shit. I have a cousin, who is very sweet, very handsome, very cute, very lovable, very fun, outgoing, and he beat the hell out of his baby mama just because of a verbal argument. He beat the shit out of her, put her in the hospital. But before that happened, everybody would look at the situation and say, I would never have thought he would do something like that. You don't know people. You don't know Chris Brown. You don't know. And I'm not trying to call him some sort of sociopath or anything like that. I have nothing against Chris Brown. But you don't know him. You don't know what the hell he's capable of. He could be capable of committing mass murders. And you wouldn't know. Ted Bundy killed a bunch of people. Ted Bundy killed a bunch of people and was thought of as a high member of society. No one knew who the fuck he was, but he was a serial killer. Anyway, so all I'm saying is, the interview was nice. I felt that she really got a lot of how she felt off her chest. She really got her message across. And I also felt that, it was something that was needed. Other than that, people get the pantyhose out of your ass and deal with it. She did this interview. I thought it was very professional. I didn't think it was unclassy. I thought it was very classy for her to come forward and finally speak on it. Everybody's waiting on it, and I think it would be unclassy if she didn't speak on the situation. She didn't have an interview about what happened as if it never happened. And she talked about a lot of real things. She talked about the fact that she was still in love with him. She talked about the fact that she was in denial about what happened. That's why she went to go see him. All these things that she was talking about is very, very systematic with what battered people do go through. Especially when someone's battered and they stay with their husband, when their husband beat the shit out of them, and people say, oh, why don't she leave him? Why don't she leave him? Well, because everybody's not the same. Maybe she felt when he beat the hell out of her, she was still in denial about the situation. A lot of women are. I will say this. I will tell you what the fuckery of the situation was, though. How is her dad was one of the main ones who spoke out against Chris Brown, saying that beating up women is wrong. But she, in this interview, said that her dad broke her mom's nose. So her dad is a trifling, two-faced bastard. How the fuck, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black for you to call out Chris Brown when the situation first happened back in February? Her dad called out Chris Brown. And for you to, in turn, for her to reveal that he used to beat the shit out of their mom, please. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about the video. People, post, what did you think about the interview? What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was unclassy? Do y'all think she was telling the truth? I mean, let Big Zo know. I told y'all how I felt. I weighed in without going too in because, if y'all want to know what happened, I think someone posted links of the video or clips of the interview on YouTube. So find it, watch it, and I thought it was I liked it. I thought it was something that was finally needed. I feel finally at peace about the whole situation. Anyway, this is Big Phil 20.